In this clip, we're going to paint the texture for the disc part of the gramophone. So let's go to our texture set list, and I will hide all the objects that I don't need. So I will just click this button here, and I will frame our disc area or our disc object. So here you can tell that we have two different texture sets. So I have texture set 1004 and texture set 1003. So I will turn off this for now, and on this 1004 I will add a simple material. So I will go to the shelf and I will drag this silver armor. So let me get rid of that. So I will type silver armor so we can filter it, and I will drag that one there. So this will be just enough for the type of material. This is going to be the placeholder of our disc. Then let me go back to our texture set, and I will turn on our disc, and I will go to the texture set 1003. Now I will go to our layers, and in this layer I want to do a couple things. So the first thing I want to do is just basically add a fill. And with this fill, if you go to your property tab, you will find that this will fill all the channels with colors and the values that we assign here on these sliders. So I will start with the base color. We know that these discs are black, so I will just pick pretty much darkish color. There you go. And then for the roughness value, I will type 0.1. All right, so this is giving us the base of our layers. I will call this base, so we keep this organized. And then what I want to do is basically grab this layer. I will copy it with Command C on my keyboard and paste it with Command V on my keyboard. So now we have a duplicate of the layer with similar quality for the material. And then I will call these stripes, because these are going to be our stripes for our disc. So now that we have that, what I want to do is go to the fill, and I will go to the roughness, and I will modify the roughness of this with a couple of parameters. So I will click here on this roughness uniform color slider, and this will open this, which is our procedural lookup box, and then I will add the stripes. So now with the stripes, you can tell that this pattern has been applied, but still I need to do a couple things before. So the first thing I want to do is go to our UV rotation, and I will type a value of 45 degrees. So as you can tell, these strips are now being connected in a secure way. And then for the UV scale, I will go ahead and type a value of 15. So now we can tell that we have a little bit of these lines that goes into the disc, and this is gonna work quite well for us. So now that we have this, the next thing I want to do is mask these lines so they are not all over the disc. So in order to do that, I will step on this material. I will create a new mask, could be a white mask. And then with this white mask, what I will do is add a generator. So I will hit here, add generator, and the type of generator I will pick is this MG3D. So now that we have this, let me hit on Alt on our mask, and we can see what this is masking. So the first thing I want to do is step on the generator, and I will increase the contrast to 100%. Then I will decrease the offset, so we have a little bit of this black edge here. So when we get back to our material, we can see that we recover of the plane area of the border of the disc, which is basically what we want. Then I will go back to our mask, and I will add another generator. For this generator, I will pick the blending mode to be multiply, and then I will pick the same type of generator. So now I will increase the contrast, and then basically what I want to do is invert it, so we are masking everything, and then I will decrease this so we just keep the middle part of our disc. So maybe I could increase this a little bit, and there you go. So we got our edges on the top and or in the beginning and the end of our disc. Now what I want to do is give a little bit of variation to this area here. So in order to do that, what I will do is go back to our mask, and I will go ahead and add a fill. So this fill, I will change the blending mode to multiply as well, and then I will pick a procedural here on our gray channel. So the type of procedural I want to pick is a bricks. So let me type this bricks, and I will pick this one here. As you can tell, right now is not quite ideal, but it's gonna give us the base for what we want to do. So the first thing I want to do is go to the UV scale, and I will change this to 3 so we have a little more repetitions. And then in our number X attribute or slider, I will decrease it, which is going to control these dividers in between the bricks. So we are only keep the line part of it. So I will just decrease this. And then you can tell that still, even though we did that, we are keeping a little bit of the gap here. So what I want to do is go down, and on the gap X value, I will decrease this a little bit. So, or basically to 0. So now that we have this, as you can tell, this is masking this. So actually, the next thing I want to do is go and pick invert, make sure that I'm using it, and there you go. So this is masking and it's giving us a little bit more of variation to the disk. Now I can increase also the UV scale again, so we have a little bit more of repetition, so you can tell that it is feeling more closely to what a disk would like. And then once we have this, the next thing I want to do to finish this is add the label in the middle. So this is going to be really simple. I will go and create a new layer. I will add a fill in the same way. And in this case, we're going to leave everything as default except the roughness, which we're going to increase quite well. And then in this one, I will create a new mask. So this is going to be a white mask. And I will repeat the operation of adding a generator. Then I will add the same type of generator. I will increase the contrast quite well, but decrease the offset. So I will just frame this a little better. So let me just go close, and I will go to a value of 0.14, which is gonna give me something a little bit smaller. So 0.14. As you can tell, this is kind of working. Then the other thing that you can do is decrease a little bit the contrast so it smooths the transition. And there you go. And lastly, the last thing I want to do here is add a little bit of variation. So in order to do that, what I will do is create another layer on top of this, and then I will add another fill to this. And with this fill, I will get rid of all the channels except for the roughness. So as you can tell, just by selecting this icon here, I will get only the roughness. And I will go ahead and look for a pattern, maybe this one here. So let me just move this so you can see it. This one here, that is gonna break off a little bit of the specular of this. So at this moment, this is not working. This is basically breaking or deleting or erasing what we did before with our stripes. So in order to bring this back, what you need to do is go here to your channels, go to your roughness, and change the blending mode to a screen. So I will go down and then screen that one there. So as you can tell, it's giving a little bit of imperfection and a little bit of roughness change, so it feels more organic and more real. So this is how we did the texture for the disk. Now that we have this, let me just bring back all of our objects and we could wrap up this clip. So just to compare in context how this is working. So let me just zoom out my camera, and there you go. The disk is working quite well. The other thing that you can do is basically bring your own design to the middle. I will just leave it white for now. I'm not concerned about that for now. And in the next clip, we're going to start working on the remaining metal parts of the gramophone.